Hey everybody, and welcome back to Uru. We just finished Teledahn and got our first message from Yeesha along the journey here. She talked a little bit about some of the principles that we read about in the proverb book here. Most notably, the one for Teledahn was pretty appropriate about the true nature of a man being revealed when you see what's hidden underneath. And that was certainly the case for Teledahn, since we saw what the true nature of Teledahn was when we looked beneath the surface. I'm actually going to go and, no, not Gahreesen. I need to go back to Teledahn to get to Gahreesen. That's what we were doing. We're going to use the journey cloth here so we can get to that office area, that storage area that had the link stone. Because we need to finish Gahreesen, and hopefully we can do that here in this video. So, hang on tight, it's going to be fun. We'll get two ages completed, one right after the other. I guess we can go down this weird route. I still don't understand what was up with the door opening it down here. I guess thankfully we don't have to do that again, but I still don't understand what was behind that. Alright, I think the link stone was, yeah, it's right here. Alright, let's take a look at what was into this area that this links to. Still don't know exactly what the deal is with these link stones. Okay, well, we found a journey cloth right here. Looks like to be another dingy place, kind of like those slave cages that we saw in Teledahn. Alright, we have only one more journey cloth left to find. And wait a minute, what's that? Is that anything? A Ralto page. Cool. Well, that doesn't lead anywhere. Oh, there we go. Alrighty. I think, if I'm not mistaken, these catacomb-looking things are meant to be those prison cells that we read about in the Gahreesen notebook. It looks like this structure here is round, or at the very least it has this area that goes around the perimeter of it. And we read about this idea that the prisoners would be linked into a specific cell because this building was rotating, and so there was a linking mechanism that would actually be positioning them to land in a certain spot. So I'm wondering, I don't know how that would work exactly, but I'm wondering if maybe the place where the linking book that led here was located had specific segments designated for specific cells, and maybe the cells that were occupied, their link zones were occupied or maybe somehow blocked whenever somebody was in there. Or, of course, you know, it's entirely possible that somebody, wait a minute, I cannot see anything. I'm trying to find the way out of here. It's entirely possible that the way out was, or not the way out, that people put more than one prisoner in one location. So, sorry, I couldn't get that thought out of my head there. Alright, so let's take a look around here. It looks like we found a way out. So it's pretty safe to assume that the areas with the bars behind them were the actual cells, and then that circular perimeter thing was for the warden or whoever. And there's another one of those doors. I'll check that out in a minute, but just want to make sure there's nothing else here. Doesn't look like it, though. Okay, let's go to that door, wherever that leads. Where is it? No, 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 I don't want to go back down. No, go back up. Up, 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 up. Nope! Oh, my goodness. Okay, can you please not... Okay, for some reason you turn around right there. I don't know why. Okay, let's go the right way this time. Whoa. This is pretty cool. Looks like another control room or something. Is that supposed to be a key dispenser? It looks like it is. Maybe you would link here if you were in Teledahn and you hadn't really been to Gahreesen yet. You would link to this area and then you'd get the key there. But it looks like that functionality has been disabled here. Alright, so let's go... I guess we'll go up the ladder here. I'm just checking my list here to make sure there is no, there are no clothing items in this area. And I don't want to go down the ladder there. So it looks like we have made it to the top of a structure here on Gahreesen. Although it's not exactly obvious what this is. I believe this is the top of the second building, if I'm not mistaken. It's the top of one of the buildings for sure. But I think this area exists separately, like as an area in the game files. This exists separately from the normal Gahreesen stuff that we were going through earlier. So I don't think we would actually be able to see the other building from here, even if we could, regardless of whichever one this is. But we found the last journey cloth, so that's what matters in the end. Alright, good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, I don't think we can really see anything out here, but it's a good view. I really like it a lot. The waterfalls are particularly spectacular. I'm suspecting that in future content updates for Uru Live, there were plans to actually have you go out into the woods out there and check out all the stuff. I know there's an area like that in one of the ages we're going to visit later on. Oh, and while we're here in Relto, let me show you something I forgot to do in the last video. Our new roof! Thatch roof cottages! That looks pretty snazzy. Alright, let's go back to the beginning of Gahreesen. Thankfully we can do that with relative ease. And we will go through and get to that island, hopefully without any trouble. Crossing my fingers on that hopefully part there. Okay. Go back through this area here. See, like I said earlier, when we read the Gahreesen notebook, it seems likely that this area would have been blocked maybe by a guard, and that you wouldn't have been able to access the up elevator through that door right there, even if the key allowed you to go through the door. The guard probably would not, so you wouldn't be able to get to the top of the building. Okay. Let's hope for the best here. Yeah, it has to be the top of the second building, because I'm pretty sure this is the top layer of this building. In fact, we can probably take a look here, and yeah, you can tell it's that area right there, with the thing around it. Okay, here we go. There we go. As long as you land where this blocks you, you won't glitch through that. Alright, I'm going to touch the journey cloth here again, because we're about to make a series of really risky jumps. And you're probably wondering, where in the world is the goal here for Gahreesen? Well, it's not immediately obvious unless you look around very thoroughly, but it's actually right down there, in that area. And you can actually, I believe, jump to it in one jump. I'm not sure I want to try it, though. You can, I think the idea is that you're supposed to use these pillars nearby to accomplish that, but I'm going to try to do it the risky way and see what happens. Whee! Yeah, that was dumb. I think you have to do it from a different angle than that. I may be wrong, but I want to say it's possible. I want to say it's possible. Good news is, well, first of all, I'm going to go back to third-person mode. Good news is that we can link right back to the journey cloth, which is nice. Just in case that happened, which it did. Okay, let's try that again. Hopefully this time with the more intended route. Okay, I don't like the fact that we can't actually see where we're jumping to here, so I'm going to have to switch to this. There we go. Thankfully we do all this without getting hurt, which is really convenient. And I think from here we can actually make the jump all the way, so let's give it a shot. You don't actually have to land on that other pillar, that one right there. You can just make the whole jump from that larger pillar. Maybe that was what I was thinking of. Okay, well, that is probably the hardest of these doors to get through, so get to. So I think we were able to accomplish quite a bit there. I feel really proud of what we accomplished.
Shora, peace to you, mover of the least. 7 more journeys have moved you closer. I was seduced while in Denis. My humble darkness lasted only a short time before I began to bask in what I could do, what I could write. My gift, my path, the knowledge of my father and the dreams of my mother pierced a hole in the darkness, in the weakness. I was aware of my power and I was proud. Whole worlds at my fingertips. It was the same with the Denis, the same cycle. Light opens the darkness. It takes, it uses, and it keeps. The Denis found power in these books you used to travel. They were a gift from the Maker. These ages you traveled to were their ages. Remarkable places giving life and taking life. This shadow came over them, this shadow of light, for it was in their enlightenment that they considered themselves better than the least. And we were sad for them. Can you feel the Denis there? You've touched the remnants, the remains of their pride and power. Let me tell you of King Karath. Dare I speak ill of him? One of the great kings, but yet he was the maker of the proud, for it was his system of guilds that served as the foundation of power and corruption. The powerful need control, fortresses and garrisons to guard their power, and soon the guarding is yet another thing to be proud of. Layers within layers built to preserve their ages and their pride from the weak and least who might attack from without. And yet it is from within that most nations fall. And so the mighty garrisons of Denis now stand vacant. The writing hides what's between the lines. These journeys are to help you travel between. The Barrow will be returned. These pillars are our journey. The return of the pillars is the return of the Barrow. The bringing away and the bringing back.
Okay, so a few more mentions of the Barrow and these pillars, so let's continue doing this. We don't really have any other goal at this point, so we'll continue on with this path. By the way, you can actually press the symbol here on the wall. It's probably obvious now, but this represents Yeesha, along with that circular symbol we've been seeing all over the place. It's also worth noting, if you look around here, that I believe we can see the... wait a minute. The first area we went to. Can we? I thought you can see that. Maybe not. Okay. Oh, wait, I'm thinking of something else. Never mind. Anyway, we'll go ahead and jump into the fissure here. You know, theoretically, we could just ride the Star Fissure all the way back home and not even worry about the journey anymore. But we're not like that. We don't quit. And the Gahreesen pillar slides into place. So, a few things that that are worth mentioning there. They mentioned, Yeesha mentioned about the Denis building fortresses and garrisons, which is obviously a reference to Gahreesen. Wait, Gahreesen? Garrison? Could it be? Nah, too much of a coincidence. I'm wondering about that, though. But it's worth noting that a lot of the content of the messages that we hear is tied to the ages that we explore. But there are segments at the beginning and the end that are meant to tie to the order of the ages that you explore. So the stuff at the very beginning and the very end is meant to be for the second age, whichever one it is. And then the stuff in the middle is meant to be for the specific age you're in. Yeesha also mentioned along with more content about the Pride of the Dunny. She mentioned some stuff about King Karath, who I believe was the final Dunny king, and his system of guilds. And we definitely saw the Guild of Maintainers work on Gahreesen, so maybe we'll learn a little bit more about the other guilds as time goes on. Anyway, we've gone through half of the ages in this base part of the game, so we got 2 more ages. I'm going to go ahead and go to this one. Let's go ahead and link there. We don't really know which book belongs with which of the remaining 2 ages, or 3 ages actually, because there's 2 that are mentioned on that last page. But let's take a look around here. It looks like we've arrived in a woody area. These must be either really tall canyon walls or really giant trees. Looks like there was once something very majestic here. We don't know if this was originally a part of a Dunny construction, or whether this was some other civilization that existed long before the Dunny, and then whoever occupied this age then took that over. It's always interesting to speculate about that. And I'm kind of trying to stay on the lookout for a journey cloth here. Ah, there it is right there. Let's see, so this should be purple, right? It is. It kind of matches the aesthetic of this age. Okay, nothing there. Let's keep going here. What is that? There's some kind of plate up there, or circular thing. Set of circles and whatnot. Okay, we've got this another telescope looking thing. And we can rotate the stuff on the plate using these buttons. So if I press the first button, it rotates everything. If I press the second button, it rotates... Wait a minute, it almost looks like it rotates everything. Does it do something different? Oh, it doesn't rotate this bit. Okay. So the second button rotates everything but this thing, and then the third button just rotates this inner part. Interesting. Well, we don't know what the combination is for that, so I'm not even going to try to guess. But there is a book here. A DRC approved book, so I feel pretty good about that. Let's go and check it out. What is this? Looks like an art gallery of some sort. All these pieces around the walls here. But where are we exactly? This doesn't seem to be the same age. Well, as it turns out, you may recognize these doors from earlier. These are the same doors that we saw along that strip mall looking thing in the Dunny Cavern that we accessed from Gahreesen a while back. And as it turns out, these paintings in this gallery are in the Dunny Cavern. But you can't actually get out because these barricades block the way. And this is basically due to the fact that the game wants to limit your access to everything in order to make sure that you can't access Dunny right off the bat. I think in the online version you are free to move around there. You don't have to worry about those barricades. But here, unfortunately, you do. But this certainly looks interesting. These patterns that we see right here appear to be very similar to the symbols that we were seeing earlier on the circular mechanism that we were operating. So I'm going to take a picture of this because this could be a clue. And I definitely want to reference clues as much as I can. There we go. No, 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 I didn't mean to do that. Let's just leave it be for now. There's also these other paintings here, and I do want to draw attention to these as well. Because if that painting over there, or not painting, stained glass piece, if that painting, or, I keep saying it, if that stained glass piece is a clue, then these could be as well. So, I'm going to go ahead and capture all of these artwork pieces here. Looks like this one has the dunny numbers in a row. So I was wrong earlier. That puzzle that we solved in Teledahn wasn't the only location where dunny numbers come in handy. Now you may be wondering, do I need to take pictures of all 3 configurations of this thing? And thankfully the answer is no. As long as you get a general idea of what each of them are, then you should be good. Let's do that. And this one here actually has a few dunny numbers on it. It's another puzzle with them. Alright. So, let me see. There we go. And then finally we have this one over here. Lots of symbols on these art pieces. Now I'm thinking I probably called them paintings a bunch since I drew attention to that. Alright, so this looks like this is all we can do here, so let's go ahead and link, hopefully back. Yeah, looks like this is a link back to that area that we were in. And we should get to puzzle solving in whatever age this is. Alright, we have made it back. So the first things first, let's see what we can do with this puzzle. First of all, can we get to the key while we're in here? We can't? Really? Okay, well, tell you what. Let me look at the key photos. How can I just get to the photos without, oh, there we go. Without having to take a photo. Alright, so it's not exactly super obvious here, but it looks like there's a little trapezoid type shape here, and then this arc that goes up here, and then that little nub thing is located right here on the upper left, the one that you can move only with the outer thing. So it looks like we've got a pretty good idea of what to do here, if this is indeed the first one. We're assuming that this is the first one. And to be honest, I can't exactly remember. Alright, so let's rotate this. I think we can kind of skip that there. Okay, I think this goes there. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe not. Let's see here. Let's take another look at it. Where is it? Here it is. I feel like there's a better way to do this. Okay, so there is a hole there, but then there's this larger one there. Okay, I think I got it. I think I've memorized it. I'm saying that now. I'm probably going to regret saying that later. Oh wait, I think that's correct. Yeah, because this extends out here, and then we got this, right? Let me just make sure. Verify real quick. Wait a minute. That's not quite correct. It's actually at the top. Ah, okay. Good thing we caught that. But wait, it is here at the top. What? Okay, we are clearly missing something. What we need to look for is where this connects to this. I think that's the key to all this, so to speak. And it looks like it is up here. There is a connection up there. So let's try that. Let's see if we can make that work. Okay, so let's move this around. Is that right? Something feels wrong about that. I don't think that's right, because... Hang on. Yeah, I want to say that's there, actually. Except now there's no lines for that to go through. So somewhere along the way, there is a line that's isolated, and we need to find out where that is. See, I thought it was down here, but I could be totally wrong about that. Because it makes sense for this to be here, unless it's this way. But now this whole thing is wide open, which that's a problem in and of itself. Okay. I think we can assume for the most part that we are correct on which one this is. So it looks like there is nothing that's connecting this to the right or down. It's all up or left. So as long as we keep that in mind, we should be okay. There also doesn't seem to be, well, there is a diagonal thing, but there would be also a corresponding diagonal if we were dealing with that as well. If we had to arrange it like that. So let's try this again. See, that cannot be right. So that leaves this, right? Is that correct? I don't think that's correct. No. Of course, it's always possible that you could end up with a situation like this. I thought we tried that one earlier, didn't we? Hang on a sec. I bet that's it. I think... Well, no, because this didn't intersect with anything. Did the left side go all the way out? No, it didn't. It just went partially out. So I bet the upper one is the one that goes all the way. Because there's no other place where that's possible, right? Yeah, I think that has to be it. So how do you arrange this bottom section? That is the question we need to figure out here. So we know that there's this... Actually, this is what we should probably be looking at, is where is this quarter circle component there? And it's like the second... No, third, if you count this thing, concentric circle on the inside. So no matter what, this inner part, this will always be circular. Like that, I think we can count on. So it's looking like the quarter circle thing is actually down here. If this is any indication. Let's try this again. Is that correct? I feel like this is what we tried originally, and we were a little bit concerned about this sticking out. Wasn't that the original concern? I wish we could zoom in on this photo. That would be really helpful. Right now, that's all I can really see here. It looks like, well, actually, no, it does look like there's a little bit of something sticking out there, but it's proportioned in a really weird way. So let's leave this one be. I think we've done the best we can do on it, and if we happen to get something wrong, then we'll come back here. Can we jump off there? Okay, good. The camera didn't exactly make that very evident. Alright, let's go back around, and hopefully this time we can discover the other two, because we've only seen one of those things so far. Nothing there. Okay, this was where we linked in, I believe. So, yeah, because we were here, and then there was this path to the right that had this really cool lamp thing. I really love the way that looks. It's so different and unique. And check this out. You gotta wonder, was this a part of some giant door one day? Like, in the past? Like, what was this used for? We still don't know what this age is all about. Okay, that definitely looks promising. So that's number 2, maybe? Oh, and there's another one there. Alright, let's just go... Wait a minute, that was the first one, wasn't it? That one right there. So this might be number 2, and I think it is because we saw a diagonal line that goes downwards and to the right. So let's go ahead and assume this is the second one. I'm guessing you can't move that. Hopefully this one won't be so agonizingly still acting up out here. Okay, and I still can't use the key? Oh wait, I've got the key open. Right, okay. I went all this way for nothing, apparently. I may have to turn off some graphical settings in between videos here if this keeps up. And now everything's frozen-ish. There we go, now it's back. I'm really sorry about the viewing experience here. I'll probably end the video pretty soon after this. In fact, since we're here right now, we're about halfway done with the puzzle. Why don't we just go and end it here? And I'll try to fix things between videos, and hopefully we can solve the mystery of whatever that's causing this. So I'll just stop here for now. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and as always, you know where to find me. I will catch you on the flip side.